Hey, how's it going, everybody? Uh, I've been meaning to do this video for a little while now, and I just keep forgetting about it. And I don't know. It's kind of an important issue, just because so many of us rely on this stuff and this equipment whenever we're out doing doing different things, camping, overnighters, any kind of trips. So if you know anything about the the 10Cs, or just kind of the base kit that you should always have on you. One of those is the candling device, which is basically your flashlight, your torch, whatever, your headlamp. And I haven't done an actual review on headlamps or flashlights before, just because so many people do them, and it's just flooded on YouTube with that kind of stuff. But what I did want to do is the headlamps and flashlights that I've used over the years that either work for me or have failed for me. And unfortunately, I've had more fail for me than have worked for me. So that's what I wanted to show you today. And what we have here are the three main lighting implements that I've used. And the fourth one I've got off here to the side, and it's the one that I'm currently using that is actually the best, and that has worked the best for me personally. Now, granted, all these are pretty much based on your circumstance and I guess the user, but for my needs and for what I want out of a flashlight, two out of these three you see here have failed and have not worked. So let's show the one that has worked, and that is this flashlight here. This is just a cheapo ultra fire light that I got off of Amazon. And when I was on the kayak trip with Justin and Travis, Justin Wolf and Travis Henry, this was actually one that was close to a flashlight that Justin had just gotten. Actually, it was a Wolf Customs Gathering. My bad. And it's one that it zooms in and out. The only bad thing I don't like about it is that when you zoom it all the way in, it's a square. So the beam that shoots and lands on the wall or whatever, it's a square. But it's got a glow in the dark button. It's got strobe. SOS, blah blah blah. So this isn't a flashlight review. This light has been there for me through thick and thin somehow. It's still going strong, and surprisingly, it doesn't eat up batteries as bad as what I thought. And I want to say it takes 3 AAA. So that's another common occurrence you'll see with me. 3 AAA is, I like AAA batteried flashlights. I know it's kind of the Stone Age compared to the new fancy CR 5062 rechargeables or whatever they're called that everyone buys. But I like AAA because before those lights started kind of coming into the market, I had a bunch of AAA batteries in stock here at home and used a lot of AAA, from controllers to remotes and whatever. So I like AAA. I can find them everywhere. Any gas station is going to have AAA, no matter where I go to get batteries. So I like that. It's kind of like my logic when it comes to ammunition. If you can't find it at a mom and pop store, why would you own it if it's some high caliber special ammo? But anyways, not to get on a rabbit trail, this flashlight has worked really, really well for me. I really like it. It's one that I keep as a backup. I keep it in the Velcro pouch on my backpack to use for just whatever. It's not necessarily my camping flashlight, but it's there in case I need it. Now, obviously, the cons to that are it's a handheld flashlight, so I've got to be able to use it in my hand. And that keeps me from doing certain tasks and certain chores that I would want to get done, that headlamp could get done. So the first headlamp that I ever purchased was this Princeton Tech bite or whatever. Okay, as you can see, it's got duct tape on it. Well, the reason because of that is because this broke. It used to just have a little thing that's clipped over this edge right here, and it broke off. So for a while I just used this duct tape, and it worked surprisingly, but as with anything that breaks, eventually it's going to fail, and it just stopped working. So this lasted about 6 months before, I don't know if I dropped it or if it broke in my pack or what, but don't recommend this one. And it's also not that bright, and the batteries just don't last long in it, and it was a AAA. So I decided to spend some more money, a little bit more pricier one, and get this Princeton Tech Viz. And this one was supposed to be waterproof and has red lights and all that stuff, and it unscrews back here, and you put your 3 AAAs in the back. Well, this one I had on my kayak trip, and what happened with it was, I'm pretty sure, even though it says it's waterproof, that moisture got in this. I never dropped it in the water, it never fell in a puddle, it never was submerged, but just being rained on and whatever, this button started shorting out. And I even had this up until the Pathfinder gathering earlier this year, and even my buddy Jeff Courtney saw that it wouldn't work. It would get stuck on dim, and then I would push and cycle through the buttons, and it would never get brighter. And so I thought it was my batteries were dead. I put new batteries in it, and still the same issue. And then all of a sudden I could hit it while it was on, and it would all of a sudden get bright again. So this was supposed to be a really good flashlight, and it also failed me. So, and I didn't like the mode on this. I didn't like the cycling mode, because it had a lock mechanism on it to where obviously it helps you so that it doesn't turn on in your pack, but sometimes it would just be hard whenever it was on my head to get it off the lock mode. And then when I did, it would get onto the red light mode, which is really cool because you can have it and not blind people and whatever, but it would get stuck on different modes. And then that's when I started noticing that it was just failing altogether. So these two headlamps have not performed to their expectations. So I started looking and was like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go through this again. I'm going to move away from this company and move away from the red light, this kind of model headlamp altogether, because there's all kinds of on the market that look like this, that have this button on top, a single button, the screw back that's supposed to make it watertight. I wanted to move away from something like that altogether. So the two that I was looking at were Through Night and Phoenix, and I decided to go with Phoenix. Now I don't know which one this is. I think it's like the whatever 250, so it's 250 lumens. But for me personally, I don't like headlamps with the big battery pack on the back of the head. I wear a hat all the time, and I just don't want that extra weight and bulkiness and whatever. So I didn't want that, and I also wanted one in AAA. And for some reason, that's getting harder and harder to find headlamps without the battery pack in the back and with AAA. And then also ones that don't have this top button configuration. So this was one that met the requirements for me. It's got a single button on the side, and the batteries go in here. And all I do to keep it from turning on is just unscrew this a little bit, and no matter how many times I could push it, it will not come on. And it has a lock on it. You know, I screw this down, and see, it still won't come on until you hold it. Sorry. And it's really bright. And the configuration of the button just makes sense to me too. You've got dim, medium, high, and off. And if you hold it down, it locks. But just to make sure, I go ahead and unscrew it a little bit to where the positive and negative terminals aren't contacting. It's got this nice little flat headpiece here. It locks down really well. I can't say that it hasn't slipped on me, because it hasn't yet. So that might be an issue. But I've had this for right at 2.5 months now, and I've had it in the rain, and it's waterproof. It's got a really high waterproof rating on it, and it's just overall a better flashlight in my opinion. And I keep a couple extra sets of AAA with me, and I put all these in a plastic bag. Even though this is waterproof, I just put it in there just for extra protection, and it just gives me an extra container if I need it, I guess. But that's really it. I just wanted to kind of show you my experiences with the headlamps. I haven't used that many, but I've bought one that was on sale. It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. And then with this last Princeton Tech, that was supposed to be one of the better ones that people recommended. So it failed me, and I know I could probably send it back or whatever, but yeah, I wanted to share with you. It's not a video knocking certain brands or whatever, but it's just something that I don't see that often. Is a year later, what headlamps have you gone through? And I know I think it was Paul Kirtley, a guy in the UK that did one on headlamps, and he gave a suggestion on one too. I'll try to put a link to that article or whatnot if I can find it again. But yeah, I'm really happy with the Phoenix, and so far it's performed really well. And who knows? I mean, I haven't had this one as long as I had the Princeton Tech, so once I hit that mile marker, I'll be able to for sure give an evaluation of whether this one has proved better than the Princeton Tech. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you and let you know that it might take a little while, but eventually you'll land on a product that works for you. So check it out if you're looking for a headlamp. They're not that expensive either, and you can get them on Amazon. So look into it, and thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.
I'll come and help you, brother. I promise I will. All right, here we go.